Good evening everyone. Welcome to Banao Bharat's Trading for Living Friday live session. Well, the first week in the month of August come to a close. In this week, what began as a very promising week actually did not end that very well. If you remember, on Monday I had said, based on Monday price action in the evening when we discussed Nifty and Bank Nifty, both actually looked very good opening and very good close for Monday. But on Tuesday, both Nifty and Bank Nifty did the kind of a backflip and they closed in the negative. Not a very alarming sign, but what was a great start or what was a promising start did not manifest or continue on Tuesday. But by Wednesday and Thursday, because of some external event or trigger, two things happened. One, US debt rating was downgraded by the rating agency Fitch, and secondly, Bank of England also raised rate of interest by another 25 basis points. So Wednesday and Thursday we saw severe cut, and the structure of the cut was such that it has put the question mark on our ongoing bull market. Yes, today the markets have seen some green, have little bit moved up and closed on the positive side, both Nifty and Bank Nifty, but overall structure, the way this week's candle has formed, it definitely puts a question mark on the bull run that has been happening since mid of March. One more week, that is coming Monday or Tuesday, if we see some big fall, then we can be sure we will be headed below 19,000 on the Nifty and below 43,000 on Bank Nifty. But for now, we need to take each day as it comes. In fact, there was a small buying opportunity today in Bank Nifty and we played that and we did see some positive returns, but the conviction on the buying side will be little less when compared to the conviction on the sell side. So any sell signals when we play, we will be playing little more aggressively than any buy signals that gets generated in the system, either on the intraday basis or on the positional basis. For today, Nifty, it has kind of opened on the positive note, and I would say today's movement as a sideways movement, it's not a trending movement. Of course, it did go up to 19,600 at one point in time, but very quickly also came down below 19,500, and towards the end it has actually bounced back a little bit. But this move, I would call it a sideways move, and I cannot decipher anything out of today's price action and say whether the downward support is taken or not, and will we be making more higher levels in the coming days or weeks. It is the first day of market holding on to the lows and going on to the sideways movement. Coming to Bank Nifty, Bank Nifty had a slightly better setup and it also had a kind of buying opportunity at the morning's opening candle high at 44,900. After having crossed 44,900, it went all the way up to 45,227, and from there on you can see it has once again fallen, but this time it did not take any lower levels and it has closed at almost 45,000 levels. So both Nifty and Bank Nifty are at a juncture where it needs to be observed for another 1 or 2 days to take a further call on whether the downside that we saw on Wednesday and Thursday, will it manifest into more of a downside, or that was just a blip trades in this week. Based on my experience, I can say these 2 days of fall was not a blip trade. They suggest something. They have shown certain levels, and in all probability those levels will be once again rewitnessed, and probably if it rewitness those lows, then we are headed much lower, and the all-time high that we have already put in place in the month of July might be here to stay for couple of more months at least. So having said that, nothing much other than these two charts. Well, starting next week we will once again start looking into some of the stocks, at least maybe at least 4 to 5 stocks every day. Stock analysis makes sense if we are doing it during the daytime in the mornings. I am not able to make certain videos in the morning, but I would like to start off once again in the morning times. Let us see how next week goes. For now I would say have a relaxed weekend. We are kind of in a indecisive closing today. Today's close either on Nifty or Bank Nifty does not suggest anything, and whatever 2 days of fall that was shown on Wednesday and Thursday, for now at least they will hold, and they will suggest trend reversal is there in place, and the all-time high already in place. As a trader, the advantage is you can be a buyer or you can be a seller. You don't have to stick to any kind of a particular style. So that is the key thing of being a trader. Even in a downtrend there will be opportunities on the long side, and even in a long trend there will be opportunities on the downside. Either way you should be able to read the chart, position yourself accordingly, and then see if you are an intraday trader. Ensure from the level that you enter you close slightly positive. So market is not in anybody's control, or nobody is rigging or operating the market. Everybody is playing their best game. That being the case, we need to play our best game like other market participants and see what the market has to offer for us. In all of these things, have a good stop loss methodology. That alone will keep you in the game for long. Stop losses will never give you profits, but stop losses can definitely keep you in the game for a long time, so that you can make that big up move. Yeah, there is a query, I guess. Let me read the query. Just a by curious. Why didn't I am not able to, 1 second. Just out of the topic question by curiosity, do you option trading or just stocks? Well, I do everything. So we do option buying, we do option selling, we do intraday, we do positional, but we don't do much of stock options. When it comes to stocks, I prefer to be in stock futures, and when it comes to the index trading, I am game for futures, I am game for option buying, I am game for option selling. So depending on the scenario, depending on the price action that is emerging, depending on the capital that is available, depending on what positions that are already there, we decide on whether to go ahead with option buying or option selling, combination of both, and also along with futures. So why was this question, by the way? Is there any lag in my internet? I hope I have answered the question. Is there anything that you want to know, Firdos? Looking at the positional chart for the coming expiry, this is how the positional chart looks. We are having a low placed at 19390, and today's high is not of any significant high for this week yet. Today is the first day in our current settlement, so the nearest levels are quite far off at around 19,900. That is where the first round of buying might come, and there is a resistance at 19,869. Both may not come. In the meanwhile, we may actually see some intermediate levels by then. Today's levels are not any intermediate levels, so we will not be able to trade or take positions based on intermediate levels. As of now, for positional basis for the coming Thursday expiry, if you ask me what kind of position I can build, not the intraday, for the Thursday's positional activity, if you ask me what kind of positional setup I can take, then my answer would be like, you should be selling calls. By looking at your replies on Twitter, I felt you were a pro, and at this date I have accepted you are a pro plus, not because of my above questions answer, but I have accepted it. Thank you so much. If you find my videos are making any sense, I will be happy. And if you see like some of my replies on the Twitter is making sense to you, it is helping you in your journey, not only in the stock market but also for you to evolve as a better person, then that is what is actually my objective. Every day we do these small videos so that, and we share whatever we know in these videos, so that somewhere down the line somebody who is watching gets few inputs and betters their life through stock market. So the objective of Banao Bharat itself is that bringing Arthik Nirbharta, so how we can achieve financial freedom through stock markets. So this is something which I know, this is something which I have been doing for last 2 decades now. So I would be happy if whatever I am doing is actually helping people in some way. So having said that, let us once again meet in the coming week. For now, both Nifty and Bank Nifty on the positional basis, there is nothing much to discuss. Honestly speaking, your answers to some comedian Twitteratists gives relief to me. Comedian Twitteratists, I don't know if I have replied to anybody. If I see some of the tweets which are not worthy of replying, I actually do not reply. But if I have replied to some of the people, then that means like somewhere I would have felt I have to put in some inputs what I know. So I don't know which tweets you are talking of. Anyway, thanks for seeing me with high regard, and I hope like I will be able to deliver value on more consistent basis. So let us once again meet in the coming week on a daily basis. Let us also start looking into the charts, not just the Nifty and Bank Nifty, because there is lot of stock actions also happening. Many stocks, especially the large caps and especially the ones which are in the F&O segment, are actually doing extremely well. There are everyday opportunities in the large caps. They themselves call as bada traders, but their timeline is filled with scrap. Just sure. Yeah, there is, see, one thing you have to like accept the fact, there are all kinds of people on this earth. There are all kinds of people in any social media platform. It could be YouTube, it could be Twitter, it could be Instagram, or it could be Facebook. In fact, there is lot of noise everywhere. You go to any platform, and even if you come to a TV channel, you see any business channels for that matter, there are a lot of noise. So your ability is in identifying some good people and sticking to their opinions, their judgments, their way of thinking, their way or their viewpoints. That alone will help you. Otherwise there will always be like, even when you take a newspaper every day in the morning, when you read a newspaper, there will be 100 news, out of which 1 or 2 only will be a news that is which is worthy of your time and attention. But while sipping a cup of coffee, if you are reading a newspaper, you should be able to quickly judge in your mind which news to read, which news to just go through the headlines and pass it on. So similarly, there is so much of information flooded in social media, on Twitter or on YouTube. You should be quick enough, because your time is also limited. You also have only that 24 hours to make your life. Nobody has more time or less time. We all have limited time at our disposal. We cannot like spend too much of time on the people's opinions or views or their like what they are doing, if it doesn't make sense, and that decision you have to make very quickly. So that is the key for all of us, because I also keep seeing so many people doing so many videos on YouTube, and like my team also keeps suggesting me, why don't we like do more such videos like what others are doing. But I am somehow reluctant to like just flood the internet or flood the social media with lot more craps just to prove our point. There is no point in proving our point. Those who know, they know me. Those who don't know, they anyway need not know me. So that way like it becomes easy for me to live in peace and also make something like which is constructive and contributing to the society, and also for the market participants. Whatever little bit I know, I want to like give a very fair opinion of what I have learned and what I have been reading through the charts. Not that I am right all the time. I am also like learning in the process by telling what I see. This kind of, it's kind of a loud thinking, that's all. When I am telling all of these things, I am also like listening to my own voice, my own words and my own thought process, and I am questioning my own self whether is this right or wrong. So that is the only way where we can improve ourselves. So that is my approach. I would like to continue this for lot more time to come, and let us see how things go. Suddenly post market hours, we are having some viewers today. We see like about 5 viewers all of a sudden, especially when the markets have closed. So for all of those viewers who are joining now and who are joining towards the fag end of this live session, I was just saying like markets in this week from Monday to Friday, actually there was a very promising start to the Nifty and Bank Nifty on Monday, but Tuesday was kind of a negative day. But Wednesday and Thursday confirmed that the all-time high is in place, and like the trend has started reversing. And today's price action, though the markets have closed in the positive, both Nifty and Bank Nifty on the intraday time frame, I would still suggest like today's price action is not anything to decipher. So we have to wait for how the Monday's price action comes, and based on that we can further say whether we are headed below 19,300 or we will find support at these levels. Most likely, based on the data patterns, I would say like the up move which has happened today, it doesn't consider kind of any successful pullback. So that being the case, there is more probability of markets coming down in the coming days. Let us see how the market goes, but be prepared and be open for all kinds of trades in the market. Especially if you are in F&O, then you can do both long and shorts based on your time frame, whether you are an intraday trader or a positional trader. If you are an intraday trader, definitely there will be some long opportunities also even in this down market. Just like how we had today in Bank Nifty, there was a long trade at 44,900. It went all the way up to 45,227, and from there on it started falling, but still closed above 45,000 levels, which is in a way like I would still say this pullback is not actually a successful pullback from the lows. So we need to be cautiously open for both the kinds of trades, and if you are seeing any long trades, do about 50% of your capital, and if you get any short trades, do 100% of your capital, so that, like, moving forward, the way I see the charts is, like, there will be 2 steps backward and 1 step forward. So whether the markets do the same thing or not, we will wait and watch, and we will once again reconvene on a Monday morning with lot more information. Until then, have a nice time with the family, enjoy your weekend, and if possible, do some reading and do some learning, so that you are more prepared on Monday morning. Until then, Om Swasti.